All, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news: as police on Grand Bahama continue to investigate the sudden death of a toddler, the family of that child is speaking out. As they come to grips with this tragic loss, the family say they are holding on to a higher power to get them through.
My grandson is dead. And there's nothing in the world that nobody can say to me that will bring him back.
Heartbroken, with tears streaming down her face, grandmother Rochelle Higgs had to be consoled by her oldest son as she recalled hearing the tragic news that her 2-year-old grandson, Peter, who was affectionately called Pa, was dead.
Money came and she pulled up to the yard and she said, Rochelle, she said, put on some clothes. She said, I want you to come go with me somewhere. So I said, go where? She said, I want you to go to the hospital. Something happened to Pa.
Her worst fears were confirmed. The child was in the care of his father during the time of his death. Rochelle says that the child was only introduced to him a few months back.
There was one day he picked him up and Peter didn't want to go. And that became a concern of mine. And so I sat with Peter and I said, give me some time with him. I said, Pa, I say, why you don't want to go to your daddy? But he just kept saying he didn't want to go. So I said, you know what? I said, this is your daddy. And I explained to him. And so eventually he went. But on this weekend, I'm like, normally when he go, I'll miss him. But I really, really wanted him home.
The grandmother says she has always been protective of her grandson, but she adds that her concerns are now with her daughter, who was an excellent single mother whose life was centered around young Peter.
If anything has to be bought for any one of the other children, it was him first and everybody else came after. My daughter was an excellent mother. People didn't understand why, but I felt that God loaned him to us. But I bless the Lord for the 2.5 years we had him. He was a blessing to my family, everybody, my friends, everybody who knew him. He was a very smart kid, and he didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it at all. And to the police force, I pray, God, that justice would be done.
Now, this matter is in the hands of the police, and as his family await the autopsy, this grandmother says she just doesn't know what to expect.
I don't know the nature of the crime yet. I don't know what resolved, but seeing him lying there, he had a few marks on his face. Every time I try to picture it and think about it, my stomach hurts. My stomach hurt. I remember when they take him out of my daughter. They said to me, look, Grammy, you have a grandson. I gave him the best of everything.
But as a woman of great faith, she says she rests assured that God is in control, as she believes young Peter is now resting with the Lord.
The person on the other side might look innocent, might be such a sweet person, but look beyond that. If your child don't want to go, don't send them. But in spite of whatever the result is, I thank God that he's resting safe with him. You know, had not been my 20-year-old son or one of them, they probably never would have stand a chance of making it into heaven. So that would really encourage me more than anything. I'm still praying and praising God through all of this. You know, it's a hard pill to swallow, yes, very hard. But I would allow the Holy Spirit to administer down my throat so it could settle in my stomach. Because if I tried doing it myself, I wouldn't be able to make it.
Well, police have confirmed that the toddler's father is assisting officers with this investigation. Now, as the family prepares to make funeral arrangements, they are asking the entire Bahamas to cover them in prayers. The Ministry of Social Services and Community Development, along with the Department of Social Services, hosting a one-day symposium yesterday at the C.A. Smith Complex under the theme Protecting Our Children in a Changing World. Those attending heard from one of the leading members of the judiciary on Grand Bahama. Joan Davis-Rolle has this story.
Chief Magistrate Helen Jones informing local social workers, guidance counselors, and case aides about some sweeping changes to the Domestic Violence Act and Child Protection Act. She noted that more teeth has been given to laws governing the rights and protection of children, many of whom have witnessed or have become victims of domestic violence.
The act allows, if the child is scared to give evidence, the evidence can be taken by video recording. I have not heard of it being done as yet, but the act allows for that to be done. If the child is scared to be in court with all the people and testify, or with the accused present. So for any other reason, the court can use digital proceedings to record the evidence of the child. I think that's a very good feature added to the act when it comes to the comfort level of the child witness. The youngest witness I had was recently, and it was a 5-year-old girl, and she was very, very sharp, I was impressed. I couldn't believe a 5-year-old could show such understanding.
Magistrate Jones noted that one of the landmark amendments seek to liberate women who for years have stayed in a hostile home environment.
Another extremely interesting feature of the act is that if a protection order is made, the court can also make an order that the spouse, the respondent spouse, that'll be the defendant's spouse or respondent's spouse, the court can make an order that they continue to take care of all their financial responsibilities even though the protection order is in place. So a lot of women will stay in the domestic violence because they are so dependent on the person for school fees to be paid, for groceries, for the house, and they figure that they have nothing if he's put out, then all of that will be cut off. So the court can make a protection order, put in the spouse or the house, or restraining them for violence, and compel them to continue doing what they were always doing before financially. Very interesting feature of the act. It's to give the women the protection they need so that they will follow through the protection order and get the help the family needs and not just keep withdrawing because of the financial dependence.
Magistrate Jones said that the court has also been further empowered.
The court can also make what is called interim protection order or temporary orders. They cannot last for more than 14 days. So this is a procedure where when the person swears in the complaint, if they can give evidence on oath of the urgency that they need this order on the spot, this is a very good feature of the act. We are now allowed, without even hearing from the next side, to make an interim order that lasts for 14 days, have them serve with a summons to come to court within those 14 days, and have a full hearing, and then you decide if it should be made a final order, if it should be changed or cancelled.
Joan Davis Rolle, ZNS Network News.
Well, it's been almost 2 weeks now since the murder of Paul Pablo Ferguson in the Garden Villas area, and the man accused of his death is still on the run. Police are continuing the search for 27-year-old Jonathan Cooper of Tamarind Street. He is accused of stabbing Ferguson to death in Garden Villas on Thursday morning. Police are requesting help from the public in locating Cooper. If you can assist, then you are urged to contact the nearest police station. Also in news, the Ministry of Tourism and the Royal Bahamas Police Force taking proactive steps to safeguard our tourism product. Security personnel were the focus of a one-day training seminar at police headquarters on Tuesday. Sabrina Brown reports.
Standing on the motto that tourism is everybody's business, the Ministry of Tourism and the Royal Bahamas Police Force are working together to create a safe environment for visitors to this destination. The two agencies hosted a one-day training seminar for security officers attached to hotel properties. Head of the Ministry of Tourism on Grand Bahama, Betty Bethel, and Visitor Relations Representative Monique Lockhart say the aim is to ensure that visitors have the best experience possible.
We want to make sure that our officers in our resort community have all the tools that they need to assist our visitors, and so that they do it not only with skills but with compassion and keeping in mind that these are guests to our island. So we want to do everything that we can to assist them.
It is very important from a tourism standpoint that these visitors' incidences are solved prior to them leaving the island to encourage repeat visitors coming to our island.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Emric Seymour believes this training will enhance the officers' ability to discharge their duty.
We want to ensure that the persons in law enforcement are adequately prepared and to discharge their duties and functions. And so we will be covering topics like report writing, statement taking, that the security officers and of course all of these type of individuals need in this type of profession.
Security officers Charles Russell and Yuta Neely say the forum was significant for many reasons.
I think all security guards need to be abreast on what's going on. We have to continually work hand in hand with the police officers to find out, because definitely when anything happens, we're always first on the scene.
Sometimes you find people that don't give you information that is correct, okay? And sometimes you find guests that are very hostile. So we have to be very careful how to remain calm and collect the proper information that is needed in order to get proper evidence for the court.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues right after this.